Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. I'm doing a retake of the last podcast because some of it the sound didn't come out or something. I think I didn't hit the right permissions to record over the app. Anyways, I was trying to call DoorDash support because the app was just flat out not working. So they have technical support for you to call. But the thing is, nobody was supposed to know I was working today. If you're not a stalker, you wouldn't know and you wouldn't care, would you? So this is the 23rd of June, 2022. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. He's a stalker. He's serial. I'm not the only victim. Stalking is when you force yourself on a person who does not like you, and it is a felony in Oklahoma, Mr. Perry. You act like it's not a crime. It is a crime. You're a criminal when you do it. So is voyeurism. You're peeping on me in my house. So is hacking. So what this video explains is that the use of technology with stalking today, especially when you have somebody with Mr. Perry with a lot of money, they use technology like hidden cameras in your home and hacking your phone, only they clone it. So OSBI or the FBI could run a check on my phone and they're not going to find anything because it's not on my phone. My phone has been cloned, which is actually worse than when you're hacked. So someone who clones your phone can redirect your phone calls to them. You think you're calling, you think you're calling Dash support or the bank or something like that, or your school. Like I've started recording phone calls because I mean, you can hear when I'm talking to people, they don't even make sense sometimes. You can tell I'm not talking to the person I think I'm talking to. So it'll redirect the phone call to Charles. I could be talking to Charles. And you can get those voice changer thingies. In fact, when I was working at the strip club in Stillwater, I was talking to a customer, and he said, I used to be affiliated with a very criminal organization. And I'm not going to say the name of the organization, but if I said the name of the organization, you'd be like, oh, yeah, okay. Everybody kind of knows that's a criminal organization. So I can see. So he says he's not in it anymore. It was kind of hard for him to get out of it. I don't think he was completely out of it. He still hung out with the same people who were known to be in that organization. In the organization, not all of the people in it are criminals, but 99% probably are. He said, I bought a software so that when someone calls my phone or one of the phone numbers that I've spoofed, I can spoof a phone number. So I can clone a phone and have the person call me, and I can make my voice sound like a female. So they think they're talking to a woman. They don't know they're talking to me. So he's explaining all this to me when I was working out there, how he can do all this crap, and I'm like, wow, okay. And he said it actually in light of my comments of I have a stalker, and he said, let me tell you what he's doing. And then he proceeded to tell me here's how I know what he's doing. So this was not just something we knew. This was something he knew. And I've also said before that Mr. Perry's partners have said, how does Cynthia call cops? These cops that are telling her everything. You watched me in the privacy of my home. You know I have a secured phone. So I don't know why you guys are all confused as to how this is happening. You sit there and watch me in the privacy of my home. You watch everything I do. You see me on my secured phone. It's a phone you can't get into. So, they set it up where you can't get into it. So if I want to call them, I call them. If they want to call me, they call me. I don't know why you guys act like we got to find who it is. But you already see me on the phone to them. The thing is you can't get into the phone to find out where the calls are coming from or where are they going out to, right? Because we can spoof that kind of shit too, right? Or they can. I don't do it, but it's their phone. Anyways, but you guys have looked at all. It's because you don't want to admit to peeping, right? You have to make up this crazy shit to keep from admitting to what you're really doing, right? Is that why you do that? I mean, we don't know why you do that. Anyways, so they got. He said, how is she calling the cops? Because we've cloned their phones. These women that are victims of our sex exploitation business, that we pimp out all over the internet and starve them while we rake it in using their body, their property, their utilities. How is it she's able to call a cop? Because when they dial out, they're calling us. It's just most girls don't know that. Most women don't know they're being peeped. peeped on. Most women don't know we're the ones causing the problems. Most women don't know when they call customer support, they're calling me. They're calling us. So then we talk in circles, and then they're frustrated because remember what this is. I'm going to talk about crime causation real quick here for a minute. Crime causation is when there's something with criminology is the study of why the fuck would anyone do that to another person. So in the case of like Ted Bundy and BTK and John Wayne Gacy, these guys who were serial killers, everyone wants to know why the hell would anyone do that, especially maybe even more with like Jeffrey Dahmer who like kidnapped these or lured these guys into his home, and then he ate them. I mean, he was eating his victims. So normal people can't even imagine doing something like that. What in the hell would make someone do something like that? So criminology is the study of that. Why the fuck would anyone do that? So we call that crime causation. We call that what is the cause of this person acting like that would cause an injury to another human being, and they don't give a shit. They don't think twice about it. They don't give two fucks. Whereas everybody else, you and I would be horrified. We're all horrified. Why would someone do that? So when I talk about a lot of this stuff, I'm talking about crime causation and the mindset of a stalker. And what are we really dealing with here? Are we dealing with one man stalking a woman and he's hired people? Or are we dealing with a criminal organization and I'm a victim of the whole organization? So that's what we're looking at here. And so when I say things like, Mr. Perry, I just said, I don't go out with anybody who will let me miss a meal, much less starve me for 2 days. I don't go out with anybody who's going to hack and peep. I don't go out with anybody. You don't have a romance. You're watching TV pretending. You're a retarded monkey could do that. Think about it. You got a monkey. Monkeys are limited in what they can do because they're animals, correct? All right, well, what about a retarded one? They can sit and watch TV and hit buttons and play with dolls and unicorns all day. That's their skill set. They'll never get anything. They'll never get any further than that. So I'm talking about skill set here. And so that's all you do all day. What's the difference? There's no difference. So women are not attracted to that. Not me anyway. I'm attracted to men who are very intelligent, work very hard, have something very interesting to talk about. They're interesting to talk to. Even when I worked in a strip club. When you're in a strip club, you're there to do a lap dance and make some money. That's the job. Why do you go to work? You go to work to make money. The strippers are no different. We go to work to make money. It just so happens that we also get to socialize. So we're sitting there talking to a customer, and believe it or not, there's been once or twice that I was like, screw the money. I'm bored out of my mind. I want to go sit with that guy over there because he's interesting to talk to. So more than once I made that decision because I usually got to the, when you're a stripper, you talk first. Hi, how are you? Did you have a nice day at work? What do you do for a living? Blah, blah, blah. And you make small talk before you just walk up and go, do you want a lap dance? You're friendly. You make the environment fun, correct? That's the job. That is the job of a stripper. Well, I would get to the punchline quicker if the guy is boring to talk to because I don't want to sit there. You're wasting my time and I'm bored out of my mind. I'm not even getting fun out of this. So I'm going to ask you your name, and if you start to bore me, I'm going to get to the punchline of, would you like a lap dance faster? So that when you tell me no, I can leave. And I go to somebody else who's a little more fun and interesting to talk to. So to be honest with you, that's the way I worked. I mean, I'm happy to chat with you for a second, but then if you're boring me out to tears, I don't have time for this. So I'm going to ask you a little faster. Would you like a lap dance? Hoping you'll say no so I can bail. I've done my job. I'm done. So, how much more is dating? This is somebody that you're intimate with. This is somebody that you're going to spend some time with. This is somebody that you're going to want to give part of yourself to, and they're going to give part of their self to you. And the last thing you want is to be bored to tears. So, I already know what I did all day. I don't want to hear you talk about what you watched me do all day. And if all you do is sit on your fat, lazy ass and watch me in my house, first of all, you're a sick little fuck. And there's a reason it's illegal to do that. Second of all, you're boring. I already know what I did all day. I want to hear that you got out and you worked and you produced something and you were effective and you accomplished things and you did something impressive, and then you can tell me about it. Otherwise, I'm sorry, but I don't want to spend time with you. I don't want to waste my time with you. So I said that, and then I said, the men that I dated my ex-husband 3 months, and then we got married. And I spent 10 years of my life with him. So clearly he had some interesting conversations. He works very hard. That's something that attracts me. So what attracts me is, and we're still friends now. So what attracts me is somebody that works hard and then has something interesting to talk about. Not somebody that sits on their fat ass watching what I did all day. That bores me to tears. You have nothing to offer. Not a fucking thing. And so, and I grew up in law enforcement. Clearly that's an area of interest to me. I'm in college for criminal justice. That is, my entire day is spent trying to catch you, Mr. Perry, and put you behind bars. I'm not doing that myself. I'm not a cop. I'm helping. I'm a support staff, you might call it. It didn't start out like that. It's ended up like that. Okay? It started out, I'm supposed to get you elected, and that was it. So they wanted a way to get to you. They did some thinking outside the box. They were like, he's a grandiose thinking bitch. Let's put him in a position of power. He'll go for it. But, well, what that'll do for us is now he's a public figure. So whatever we dig up, this is going to take a while. There's a lot of these guys in this deal. It's a big organization, and it's very bad. These are very bad people who do very bad things, and they very badly need to be locked up. And it's also got international implications, so now you got international law. That's a whole other bag of worms right there. Is it not? I mean, you got a lawyer, right, Mr. Rich Guy? So ask your lawyer. Anyways, I'm told that from them. And them is need to know. Only people who need to know get to know. Everybody else doesn't get to know. I don't care who you think you are. You can go to Keith Quigley, FBI Keith. He's not going to know. He's your buddy. We know that. We know he's your friend. You guys are BFFs. You play golf and shit and go duck hunting. I don't know. But what I do know is FBI Keith isn't going to make a phone call and get any answers. Right? Because FBI Keith is too close to you. We don't have leaks, Mr. Perry. We don't have them. So now FBI George, I don't know. I know FBI Keith's in Lubbock, right? So you guys are all, chummy. So, and you like buying cops and shit. Now, I don't know if you're buying him or he's just acting as your buddy, as your, golf buddy or duck hunting. I don't care. No one cares. Here's the thing. He's not going to get any information because he's not part of the need to know. Only people who need to know are going to know. Everybody else is going to get told, I have no idea what you're talking about. Couldn't tell you. Never heard of it. Don't know. And which people are telling you the truth and which ones are lying it's part of the need to know. But here's the thing, is they did a little thinking outside the box. If we can dig, and this guy's a public figure, the public has the right to know what he's doing. So while we're trying to get each and every intricate detail worked out, there's some protection in people knowing that you made a threat. That you premeditated a crime, that you had a little meeting where you all sat down and said, we've got one of our victims that needs to go back to Texas so we can do more to her. So let's hack her Dasher app and make sure she doesn't make shit. And then she'll call her ex-husband who still lives in Texas, and she'll have to move back in with him, and then we can do more to her. We can really fuck her up there. Because where she's at now, we're not getting as much out of that. Right? I think I'm right. So, and you took my house, so we got your code words. Muffin Man, Rumpelstiltskin, pin the tail on the donkey. All of that, we're the only ones that have that. Right? How do we get that? You pissed off the wrong people. We found out you're calling around looking for the actual recordings because you want to destroy that evidence. You're big on destroying evidence. You're big on concealment of material facts, and you're big on flat out perjury. We don't know if it's flat out perjury or if you're very delusional. You don't know what the hell happened. You don't know. You really and truly have no idea. That's possible. You got Huntington's or something? Huntington's disease. It causes one to be paranoid and delusional. So That's and then when you're out shaking hands and kissing babies, you can walk up to a dude and talk to him about I was up in Montana hunting, blah blah blah. Were you, or were you crossing the Canadian border with sex trafficking people, Cuban trafficking? Which one was it, sir? So those are questions they can ask you and or get you to just talk about, because they tell me you're nice and chatty. You and David are arrogant, and they're like, it's easy to sting up an arrogant guy. They just love talking about what they've done and what they can get away with. And they got power to do this and they got power to do that. Legal or not legal doesn't matter. I got power. I'm a big shit here. I'm hot stuff. Here's what you guys are the easiest kind to sting up. Just so you know. Because y'all just run your mouth, boy. Brag, brag, brag. I'm powerful. I'm powerful. I'm powerful. I can do this and I can do that. And you're talking to a cop and you didn't know it. So, there's that. Sting hopping is an art, I think. And, there's, it's an art. You got to know what you're doing. So, anyways, this is the connecting the dots video. I'm not going to show the videos, but it talks about what police are supposed to do when you file a police report for stalking. It's not give it to the offender. Right, Richard? Right? TPD? No, it's not. That's not what you're supposed to do. Everybody, we have to go onto YouTube so that we can show people in the abnormal world of Charles Perry, you're full of shit. And by the way, YouTube is loaded with information of how things are supposed to be done, if they're done right. One of those is the National Stalking Victims Resource. This is for victims. This is for people like me. So am I being stalked by one guy who hired a bunch of people, or is there a larger criminal organization and I'm fucking being stalked by the whole thing? It's the second one. Mr. Perry doesn't want to date because he just did everything I hated. Everything I said turns me off. He's not getting, laid or something. So in the crime causation, I'm explaining in that way. He's not getting sex here. Nobody's holding his hand. I'm not in love with him. There's no romance there. And he's not even trying to get that. Because I just said, I have to be wined and dined first. And then I'll decide if I like you. I only go out with men who make sure I don't miss a meal. I want somebody that's very interesting to talk to and works hard. And doesn't sit around on their fat ass watching TV pretending. I want somebody that can think past what a retarded monkey can do, for sure. I want interesting conversation. I want somebody who's smart. And you're not that. You're none of that. In fact, the more I say I hate that, the more you do it. So you're not trying to attract me. You're not trying to make me like you. So what is it you're trying to do? So our shrink evaluates all that. And by the way, she evaluates every single one of y'all. Every single one of y'all. When we execute, we have more information than anybody else has. You know why? Because she sits down and evaluates each and every one of you so that she knows how you're going to react in any given situation. So that when we come up with a plan or a strategy, we execute that plan with precision and accuracy and get the outcome we want. Exactly. And we have so far every time. Pretty much. Every time. So, you guys don't know me. You plan all this shit. I mean, you watch me. I don't know how you can't, but you don't. You plan all this shit, and then you go, oh, if we do this, she'll do that. And then I never do. Like when you had the guy wreck my car and you thought I'd call the police. And I was like, yeah, I'm not calling the police. Like, who came up with that? Thinking I'd call the police. I never have. See, normally you would look at go, well, she's been hit 5 times and never called the cops. She walked in a report because at that point I'm getting witness tampered because of my position on Mike Neely's innocence. There's a thing called wrongful conviction. There's 2 or 3 organizations. There's wrongful conviction organization. There's Project Innocence that was set up by the OJ guy. Shit, can't remember his name. OJ Simpson guy. Barry Scheck. So we all know there's innocent people in jail. And his organization works night and day tirelessly trying to get those individuals out back home. And the real offender, while they got the wrong guy, is out re-offending. And we saw that in the movie Unbelievable on Netflix. That is a documentary, like a docudrama, about the rapist Mark O'Leary. So while the first police department fucked it up like a big time, just complete fail right there, and actually charged the victim with false reporting, she had to pay a fine of $500. The rapist is still raping. And he makes his way up over into a jurisdiction of smart people. And they caught his ass. And he's in jail now. And the poor little girl that was traumatized twice, first by the rapist and again by the police who failed, bunch of Barney Fives, stupid, they looked bad. I mean, they looked bad. And she got vindicated. And that's often how that happens. It's just kind of in the course of things how that works out. And in the course of things, Mr. Perry, you continue to murder, You continue to threaten murder. You continue to rape women in the privacy of their home. You continue to pimp us out. You continue to commit crime after steal my money, steal my steak, and give me your little fucking canned food. Then Mike Neely is the wrong guy, and he's in jail for something he didn't do, and he shouldn't be. You should be. And guess what happens when you are? All the problems you cause, all the loss, all the hardships, it's over. It's gone. The nightmare's over. We get to wake up and have a normal life again. I can walk outside my house and not have to worry that while I'm outside, or I'm out at the grocery, or I'm out somewhere, that you're going to have somebody sneak in my home and take my computer, because we've heard you talking about doing just that. Kind of like you stole my social security card, or you're going to break into my storage unit and steal stuff out of that, just like you did my birth certificate. You know, this is your habit. This is your MO. This is what you do. It's who you are. Everybody has a habit. Everybody has an MO. Mine is to, try not to do what you want me to do, because you basically have some sort of trick in there that's not going to end well for me. So if I find out beforehand, here's what they're going to try to do, I do everything I can not to do that. And if I go ahead and do it anyway, I know how I'm going to use it against you. I have a plan. Always. And we've talked about it, and we figured out what we're doing with what you do. Right? So we have this, Tulsa Police. This is how you're supposed to handle stalking reports. It's not giving it to the offender so that he can continue to offend and maybe end up in a jurisdiction that's smarter than you. And then you got to explain why the hell you didn't do it right. I mean, you got a dead lucky. Here's the thing. Everybody heard me talking to my school. They want a police report. All I got to do, I didn't get a copy of my police report in Manford. She goes, I just need a police report. Okay, I can get in my car and drive to Manford and go get my police report from Manford, can't I? Except it's very traumatic for me. In addition, I'm reading Title IX says you can't make students do that. And I'm telling this woman, you're re-traumatizing me. You don't understand what just happened the last time I did that. The last time I filed first time I filed a police report. Not the first. Second time I filed a police report, I ended up in jail. Illegally detained. I lost my house. My mugshot is smeared all over the news because it was an elected official that did this to me. And then the next time I did it, I end up with the cop that took the report. One of them ends up dead 6 days later. And another one in jail for something we know there's no possible way, humanly possible way to do what he's accused of doing. And there's a reason you kept me from testifying. And also noticeably missing was Tyler Buttram and Chief Ridley. Both of whom were all over the news saying, we don't understand this. It's very confusing to us. They weren't fighting. They got along great. So there's 3 of us that are noticeably not in that courtroom in front of that jury in a case that you want to deny all connections to. Your name wasn't in the police report I filed. Just some guy got in my trunk. It might be stalking related, but I don't know that. What do they tell you in this video? Make sure the police know. In fact, the police are supposed to find out, is this car vandalism stalking? They tell you, TPD. You guys could have, I'm feeling upset. Like, I'm very mindful of the fact that had I not made the phone call, Lucky and Mike might be home right now with their families. And there might be little children that had dad at home. Those guys went to work and didn't go home. And you do every night. And they don't. Those kids don't have a dad come home from work anymore. You walk home. You walk in your front door. Your kids get to see you. They get to touch you. They get to hold you. They get to tell you about their day. And if they need something, they get to pick up the phone and call you. And Lucky's kids will never again get to do that. And Mike's kid doesn't either. It's a lot different for him. So every time you walk in, TPD, to your child's room, or you pick up the phone and you call your kid, or your kid calls you, I want you to thank God in heaven that you get to do that, because there's 3 Miller kids that don't, because you didn't do your job. And there's one Neely son who doesn't because you didn't do your job. So you tell me, is it worth it? Was it worth it what you did, that you didn't do it right? And it hurts me. And I feel like if I hadn't made the phone call, and I'm sure you could hear it in my voice, I couldn't even tell her the story right. I didn't even tell her the story right. I'm listening to my recording, and I'm like, I didn't even tell her the story really exactly right. I was just freaking out. I was just, it upset me. This is my college education. It means a lot to me, first of all. Second of all, I couldn't believe I'm even having to make this phone call. And third of all, I'm having to explain a traumatic situation to this woman again as to why I don't have a police report that really I could just drive out there and get it. Except I don't want to. I really don't want to. It's traumatic for me. I don't want to deal with it right now. At some point, I need to. I need to get in my car and I need to drive to Manford. Do you know I haven't been to Manford since 2019? Haven't been out there. So at some point, on the last interaction I had with Manford Police was positive. I talked to Jerry Ridley. He was sitting outside my Lakeshore in a black SUV, and I didn't know Manford had a black SUV. What I did know is there was a black SUV with Texas plates coming through there, banging on my door, I guess, when I wasn't home, and making everybody wildly uncomfortable, like intimidating. Everybody complained about it. I thought that's who that was. I'd about had enough of it. So I was going to walk up to him and tell him to get the fuck out. And I walked up and I saw a bunch of police equipment in the car, and I said, I'm sorry, sir, but who are you? And what are you doing here? And he said, and then he opened the window, and I looked at it and I go, oh, you're a cop. Yes, I'm a cop. Okay, I see. And he's laughing at me like he thought it was funny. He could have yelled at me. He could have said, I'm the chief of police. Who are you to question me? I mean, he could have said that, and he didn't. He was very nice, very kind, very merciful, very friendly, and supportive. And I said, I have papers for you. And he said, sure, go get them. I'll wait here. So I went in and got him and brought him to him. It was a very positive interaction. I'll forever appreciate him for that. So, but for me to go back out there right now, I don't want to do it. I can't handle it. And so for her to make me do that right now is not cool. I don't want to do it. And Charles, how dare you put me through? Why? What right do you have to put us through all that? What right do you have? I know you get off on it. So do you, David. Y'all are both mental something. You got something wrong with you that you think that's funny to do that to people. It's not funny. It's really not. Do you think it's funny when I quote you? Because that's what you get back. That's what you get in return. Okay? You pay for it. You're paying for it right now with information. When you start fucking with the wrong people, sometimes you piss them off. And if they're law enforcement, then you know you're going to end up in jail. Mr. Perry, no one cares what you think. I really want you to get out of my computer and shut up. He always types in my computer when I'm doing these. He shouldn't know I'm recording this right now. It's recorded, not live. But for peeping and hacking, he does. And then he's got to thinks I care what he thinks. He starts commenting. Listen, no one's going to help you. You continue to ask me, is it this person? Is it that? I'm not going to help you. You're terrorizing my life. I'm not going to help you do that. I'm doing everything I can to make sure you understand it's inappropriate, it's wrong, you're sick, you're getting your ass kicked when you do it to me. Like it never has happened to you before. No one's going to help you because we all want for you to be gone. When you're gone, there is no more peeping, there is no more hacking, there is no more terrorizing, there is no more threats. I can walk out of my house and leave my computer on my desk and not have to worry you're going to try to get somebody to walk in and get it. We're all sick of this. You don't seem to understand what I'm saying. We're all tired of you. I'm not going to help you. I don't care what you think. Did not ask, did I? So, because we've eliminated, due to Mr. Perry's actions, that his motive is a date. Because he does everything I hate, and the more I say I hate it, the more he does it. I mean, I do everything she hates and nothing she likes. Why doesn't she like me? Because it's not about that. He doesn't care about that. He's got a criminal organization. Our witness said, as long as I've known him, he trolls women. He puts hidden cameras in their home when they're not home. He's traveling. Nobody knows really what he's doing. Except his partners. So he'll put these hidden cameras in these women's homes, and he's broadcasting them all over the dark web, all over the world. Now, we all knew Josh Schulte, who got in trouble with the CIA or the NSA. One of those two, CIA, I think. He got fired, and he's in jail, and they found child porn on his computer, and he told everybody, I host websites for other people. It was theirs, not mine. Well, was it Charles Perry's? Because Josh Schulte's from Lubbock. Was he hosting your sicko website? If you watch a woman in the privacy of her home and she's got kids, broadcasting those kids all over the internet is child pornography, sir. It doesn't get more egregious than that. It's pretty sick. No normal person does that. You do realize that normal people don't do what you do. So you're abnormal. There's a reason that your activity is criminal. That means people don't like it when you do that, so much so they made it where you go to jail if you do it. So you think I'm going to help you? You're off your nut. It speaks to your delusion that you would even ask me. It speaks to your delusion every time you start telling me what you think. You really have a pretend life, don't you? Just this pretend world, nothing real about it. It's as detached from reality as it gets. So, the guy said he broadcasts these women, sells watch time. In the privacy, uses their body, uses their home, uses their utilities. And he's a sex sadist. He gets off on making women upset. So he'll get them fired. Then he'll make it where they can't find another job. Then it puts strain on the family. Because now they're calling family members going, I need some money. And then they lose their house. Then he has the ex take the kids away. And these children who had a nice, stable home, it's blown up. You imagine how that's traumatizing to a kid? 10-year-old, like my son. And you think that's cute? And you think somebody's not going to kick your ass eventually? You thought wrong, sir. I don't think you know how to think at all. We think you can't even think past tying your shoe. And you might even need help with that. Because when you do it to me, you get caught, and you go right back and do it again. And then you get caught again, and then you do it again. And then you get caught, and then you do it. And you do the same thing every day, and you get the same results. No date, just hold on. More and more. 40,003 emails representing 40,003 recordings. Only the ones that you know of, sir, but not all. Not all. And y'all going around. How did she find out? How did she know about that? Muffin Man. I know who the Muffin Man is. I haven't said it. You want me to say it? I know exactly who the Muffin Man is. And the Muffin Man I hear is shitting himself right now. Yeah. So, you fucked with the wrong people. And the more you fuck with me, the more we get, because we get pissed off. I said, leave me alone. I said, don't peep, don't hack, don't contact me, don't take my money, don't contact my friends and family. Fuck off. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Get off your ass and go work. And leave everybody alone. Leave everybody else the fuck alone. And the more you cause me to lose 1 minute of my time, 1 penny of my dollar, the longer Mike Neely sits in jail, you have plenty of ways to get him out. And you know that. We all know that. We've talked about it. You suck at even at the mafia thing. I'm from Vegas. There's a much higher level of thinking over there. You take my money, you take my time, you take my privacy, you take anything. My guys start digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. And the reason they had you put in an office, Mr. Perry, you got elected because we wanted you elected. You hacked your win, that's fine. We wanted you to hack your win. Because the public is entitled to scrutinize what you do in your private life. So, when you do something to me, the public has the right to know what you did to me. I'm not your only victim. I'm just the one that has power behind me that you can't get to. Right? Didn't your FBI buddy Keith can't even get to it, right? Didn't you call him and say, I need you to find out who's helping her? He can't find it, can he? Is he frustrated? Is he frustrated? Has he sting-opped me? I heard he did. I heard he came into my club, pretended to be a customer, and sting-opped me. And I heard he said, we practiced our script, which she's going to know beforehand maybe. But then I gave some on-the-fly things, and she answered on the fly. She knows what she's doing. And I do. Who taught me how to do that? Yep. Well, my dad and my granddad did some. My dad can do a hell of a sting-op. So, but there's a lot of... And then whatever I didn't know before, I learned it practicing. You guys made me figure it out, didn't you? So, you've actually been quite the conduit of growth, Mr. Perry. I've had to learn a lot of things. Shit, I'd like to work at a DA's office part-time as an investigator and pulling up case law. I love to do legal research, which I didn't know fucking what the hell that was until you put me through all this. I didn't have a choice. I needed to find an attorney. I call attorneys. You call into my phone. You see which attorneys I'm calling. You call them and hire them away. So they won't help me. So guess what? I'm not stupid. I'm not weak. I'll do it myself. I can read. So I went and bought law books. I went to Tulsa University's library, and I looked at all of the books that they carry in their law library. And I bought them. I bought a few. I went without food for a week or two, or a day or two, and bought the book. Bought the fucking book. And then when you ran off my customers at Sensations, I'd go in the back dressing room and study. So, guess what? I had to learn how to pull case law. So I actually like to do that. And so thank you for that. I wouldn't have known about all of that if you hadn't put me through this shit. It doesn't mean what you're doing is a good thing. It just means I've learned how to make the best of it, haven't I? Everybody has that choice. There's one thing that we have complete control over. We can't control what other people do to us. We can't. People are gonna do shit. Some of it's nasty. My situation is the nastiest of the nasty. Believe me, most people this bad. They don't know what a bad day is compared to me. But I've learned how to survive it, and I've made the best of it. And you can choose how to respond to what happens to you. Everybody has that power. That's the only power we really have. Is we can choose what to do with what comes at us. We choose that. And that's our power right there. It's the only power we have. Really, when it comes down to it, that is the only power we have. You have all these people in Hollywood, have all this money and all this fame, and they commit suicide. And you're like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Why would you commit suicide? You have everything you could ever want. So why would you take your own life? You gave your power over to somebody in your head because you got plenty of money. You got plenty of power. You got you got money. You got a little bit of power. You got fame. You got notoriety. You can walk anywhere and everybody knows who you are. If you ask for anything, they'll give it to you just because they know who you are. You're famous. So why in the hell did you kill yourself? Why would you do that? You have everything to live for. Well, but they do. So everybody wonders, why would somebody do that? Well, somehow they don't choose, something. They're choosing something wrong. Because the true power is if you have all that kind of money and you kill yourself, or you get a deadly cancer, for example. That's the other thing. And have all the money in the world, and it's not going to cure your cancer. If you have a certain kind of cancer, there's some cancers that are curable now. If the technology's advanced, and it can cure most breast cancer. Breast cancer has a very high cure rate if you catch it in time. But then there's pancreatic cancer, which doesn't. Usually going to kill you. They don't have cure for that yet. So depends on what kind of cancer you have. But if you're a wealthy person with a lot of power, Harry Reid, he's deceased now. He had a lot of power and a lot of money, and that did nothing for him with his. I think he had pancreatic cancer, didn't he? So it didn't help him, did it? So what do you have? If you really want to say I have power, the only power you have, Harry Reid's money and his power, second most powerful guy in Washington D.C. And yet he died of pancreatic cancer. Didn't help him, did it? Didn't fucking solve a thing. All his money and all his power didn't beat the cancer. And so where's our power? Really, it's in our head. It's in your head. You choose. You choose to do what you want to do with what people do to you, or any given situation that comes at you. And as Governor Rick Perry said, life is lessons and tests. That's all it is. That's life. From the day you're born till the day you die. Lessons and tests. So we can choose what we do with what people do to us. And I've chosen to learn. I'm going to learn. Whatever it is I do good, I'm going to do it better. Whatever it is I have to be thankful for, I'm going to be thankful for it. And that's how I'm going to get through this whole thing until you're gone. I'm going to try to find a way to make it where you can't do this anymore. There are no more blown up families. There are no more dead cops. There are no more framed people. There are no more threats. There's no more terrorizing. There's no more terrorizing. That's my goal. I'm going to die trying, even if we never get there. If the guys helping me bailed on me tomorrow, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to do what I do. And I'm going to at least die trying. Because we don't think it's cute what you're doing to people. We don't think it's cute that you make women and children miss a meal, or 2, or 3, and take their home. And try to take their car, and get them fired, and all that stuff. I'm the first one that sued you. I'm the first one that found out you had cameras in my house. I'm the first one that found out you are causing the problems. I'm the first one that figured out a murder that you did to cover all that up. I'm the first one that said, you know what, you've got a meth bust. You could have framed one of those guys. And there'd be no link to you at all whatsoever. Or to my police report. Right? Doesn't mean I don't have emotions. I'm a human being. It traumatizes me to go through this. You're traumatizing me. I have emotions. There's things that will take me the rest of my life to heal from. I won't heal from it anytime soon. One of these days, I'm going to have to get in my car and drive to Manford and get the fucking police report. If for no other reason, to see that I can. To see, okay, now I'm at a point where I'm healed enough, and this doesn't hurt me to the point where I can't even drive out there. Okay? And if I'm talking to anybody about it on the phone, I'm talking to them about it as it's something I'm healed from, and not something that still traumatizes me. But you took the life of another human being because I made a fucking phone call. And I'll forever feel terrible about it. You just called the cops. All I did is call the cops. And you have been so insistent lately that I call the cops again. Why? We're going to have somebody hit you and then try to make you call the cops. We're going to use your school Title IX program to try to make you call the cops. Why? Do you just enjoy traumatizing me with police? That's my family. Do you just enjoy traumatizing me with police? See, you're proving our witness out. He just likes getting women hysterical, and the guy said, I'm quoting, so he can go rub one out. There are sex crimes, Mr. Perry. You're one of those people. BTK would terrorize families. That's his thing. Bind, torture, kill. He liked to torture. And then he'd go in another room and ejaculate. It's sick. It's really sick. You and David, you enjoy abusing women and kids. You get off on it. You got something wrong with you. It's very abnormal. It's far, far outside social norms to want to do that. And I hope to be the one that stops you. I've done things no one else has done. I've sued you. I figured out you had cameras in my house. I figured out you hacked me. I figured out you're the cause of the problems. And I'm quoting the hell out of you. We got your code words. I can't do that by myself. There's no way. So here's the other thing that we can do. Here's the other thing on YouTube. All kinds of things that will tell you how DoorDash apps are supposed to work. See, there's like a bunch of these guys that have, here's how you can make a lot of money doing DoorDash. And they're the ones that taught me that you don't want to do it if it's not $1.50 a mile. And here's why. Because I don't know anything about DoorDash. I've never done that before. It seems simple enough. You get in your car, you drive, you go pick up food, and you take it to where it's supposed to go. But the thing is, the first couple of days, there's always a learning curve with any job. There was with dancing, there was with political consulting, whatever it is I've done. You got to learn how to do it. So the first couple of days, I'm going, well, gosh, I made $60 in a couple of hours, but I spent almost that amount on gas. So shit, there's got to be a thing here, a trick to it. So I started watching these videos, and sure enough, there's a trick to it. And so they explain all that. Here's what you want to look for. Here's the orders you want to decline. Basically, if you order from DoorDash and you don't tip, your order's going to get declined by every driver. Except you might get one new guy that doesn't know any better. And, maybe. But what happens is it'll send it back through and send it back through until you finally fucking tip. You're expected to tip. You go to a restaurant, you're expected to tip. I don't like people that don't tip. When you're in Vegas, let me tell you something. Here's the mindset in Vegas versus here is the people there the people that you're with, not the waiters, not the waitresses. The other people that we would hang out with They expected us to tip 18%. If we didn't, we were like, you're trailer park, you're shunned, you're subhuman, you didn't tip very well, you just like, they treat you like you're just, low life scum if you don't tip 18%. That's how you're treated in Vegas. Vegas, they expect you better fucking tip. So, or you're just low class. If you want to hang out with high class people, you better tip 18%. So, I mean, that's the world I lived in forever. It's fast paced. It's competitive. You better get it right or go home. I mean, the guy next door will put you out of business if you don't. So, we're gonna do it bigger and better than that guy over there, and we're gonna make all the money. There's money out there. Let's go get it. It's our money. That's how everybody thinks in Vegas. The casinos, they put on these big shows and they put on this big thing, and they all want to. I got a plane. I'll fly to Asia and I'll pick you up and come get you, and you can come play baccarat here at my casino. I'll give you a free whole. You have the whole free presidential suite. I mean, they do whatever they can do to draw in the wealthy guys from anywhere, Asia or anywhere, Dubai. I mean, wherever. We'll fly you in. Just bring your money to my casino. They know you're not going to go home with it. And if you do, the plane had a problem with it. It's delayed down at the airport. I mean, that's real. That really happens. We got a mechanical something. How about you come gamble some more? I mean, they'll do whatever they can do to make you leave your money at that casino. They're not big and beautiful because people win. And even if you win, they're going to make sure you stay long enough to not win. You're leaving it there. So they'll fly you in. And they'll put you in the presidential suite. That's all good, because they know you're gonna, you drop $3 million by breakfast. That's all they care about, right? Drop $3 million at the baccarat table. So their casinos are everything in Vegas is competitive. When I sell medical equipment there, like no other place I've lived, they all, I got this new thing. Oh, let me see it. I want to have it. How can I get it? I didn't even finish telling them what it was yet. Those doctors want the newest, latest, greatest technology. Yeah, what is it? I'll use it. I want. And you go into Lubbock or Tulsa and, I don't know, let me think about it. I don't know. After you've gone through your whole big long spiel, this is cutting edge technology, doctor. It's going to save your patients 10 days in healing time. It's going to get, it's going to reimburse, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be, so you're going to there's going to be a little profit in that for you. Or, if it's just a prescribed item, they don't get any money out of that. But, it's going to make your patient happy. They're not going to be calling you on the weekend. I got something wrong, complication. That's going to, this is what I'm talking to doctors about. In Tulsa and Lubbock, I don't know, I got to think about it. And you're like, oh my God, how about I slap you? I mean, what the hell's wrong with you? I wasn't used to that. I was used to Vegas. I didn't even get it out of my mouth yet what this is, and I want it. Is it new? It's new. It's going to save me. It's going to get, it's healing times faster. Okay, it's going to, I'm not going to get the call on the weekend. Perfect. I want it. Let's get it. What does it do now? What is it for? Then they want to know what it is and what it's for. Cutting edge, progressive, fast, quick. Like that. The best of the best. It's Vegas. So this other dipshit crap, I don't even know what to do with that. But this stuff right here, if you want to know how to do it right and not dipshit crap, there's all kinds of YouTube videos on how you can do it right. And if you want to get DoorDash, people don't tip right, then it just sends your, we'll walk into a restaurant and there'll be 3 or 4 orders they've been sitting there for hours. Well, why aren't these being picked up? Probably because whoever ordered it didn't tip. Yeah, your shit's gonna sit there all fucking night. Nobody's taking that. Guess what? I'm not the only Dasher that watches these. Did you think I was? Oh, I'm not. So when I get 3 orders all night, I came home. Let's see, I made $9 in 5 hours tonight because Mr. Perry did this all fucking night. Look at that. That is pathetic. So we can all tell. Plus, my guys, remember the consultant that went to the strip clubs where I was working, who said in her 3rd year with her personality and her talent, she should have been making 6 figures in the 3rd year she was dancing. Again, we got the learning card for the new, right? You learn what not to say. Sometimes you'll sit too long with one guy who has no plans to buy from you. So I learned that the hard way. If I'm going to sit here through 2 songs, you don't buy from me, I'm gone. I learned that. So at first I would sit there for 30 minutes, or an hour, and hopefully he'll buy, because he'd say, in a minute I'll get one. In a minute I'll get a lap dance. In a minute I'll get, no, that I learned the hard way pretty fast. I could have been, the guy over here wants a lap dance now, and I'm sitting here waiting for you to, maybe I'll get one in a minute. So you learn things, the hard way, eventually. But look at that. That usually means they want me to go to South Tulsa. Here's the thing is, it doesn't normally look like that. The busy part is usually, Midtown is usually more busy than South normally. So I'm getting all these upside down orders. If you watch those videos, the guy will tell you why that's a bad idea. That is not going to work for me. And then you had your witch. Yeah, dirtiest house I've been to in a while. We need her back in Texas so we can do more to her. We want to cut off all her income, tell her ex-husband, don't help her at all. Don't let her make any money on, Upworks or flexi jobs or whatever, whatever online crap, freelance writing she's trying to do. Don't let her do that. Cut all that off. Tell her mom and dad, don't give her inheritance money from 2007. And make her go back to Texas. So that's duly noted for the record. And it has been more than once, Mr. Perry, that you expressed intent to coerce by way of grand larceny and hacking. Okay? I've said this. You guys act like it's never been said. No other victim has that. October 29, 2015. We're going to false arrest her and coerce. And create a situation of extreme duress to force her against her will to do something or say something she wouldn't otherwise normally do or say. That is coercion, you dumb fuck. Listen, any and all of your contact to me is creepy. You're fucking creepy. You're not hot and sexy. You're not some guy, stud muffin. You got women throwing themselves at you. You're pathetic. You're just creepy. You're alone and told on and told on and told on. There is a recording that goes with that, and the recording has a lot more information than this. A whole lot more. Yeah, see. You want to buy the recordings, they are not for sale. This right here got me in jail. People that listened to what I said, the first time I said it, I didn't have to repeat myself. Yeah, I hate it repeating myself. Look, then all of a sudden it just quits working. No orders were even coming through. So, here's the thing. Maybe they had a platform problem, or maybe they didn't. I made the call to DoorDash, but all my calls are directed to you. So you're telling me it was a platform problem, that all Dashers had a problem. So my guys are going to dig. They'll find out. Now look at the map. Yeah, I don't know. This is just... So anyway, you can watch those videos and see how DoorDash is supposed to work for people who aren't hacked and stalked and sex exploited all over the internet. And just remember that because you did this crap to me, David, Charles, Josh, Joe, Matt, whoever's involved in this, Calvin, all you bitches, when you do this shit to me, you then all of a sudden, I'm the one that figured out there was cameras, but there's a reason for that. I have help. I'm the one that knows the problems are caused by you, and when you're in jail, there won't be any more problems. I'm the one that got one of those in jail. It wasn't up to you. I'm the one that has that. No other victim has that. And the more you guys do this to me, and I'm the one that has this, it's not legal, but we're going to have our car towed and sold before she figures that out. Wrecked 5 times in 3 years subsequent to that. Tires taken out. Do remember that I was woken up in the day. I sleep till 3. When I was dancing in 2019, I sleep till 3. I'm woken up at 1. Get out there and check your car. Well, we just got them recorded talking about taking out your taillight. They want you pulled over. So go check it. So I went out and checked it. Sure as shit, taillight was out. You have to have a key to get in my trunk to take the taillight out, David. We hear you're the big one on getting my car. So when you do this to me right here, then they do that to you, David, Charles, Josh, Joe, Matt, Calvin. It's been 40,000 times, guys. This one was the first that you know of, David, Charles, Josh, Joe, Matt, whoever, Calvin, Muffin Man, whoever. Rumpelstiltskin. I guess Rapunzel's not taking down her hair. Why would I? You guys don't know me at all. We know we got to shrink evaluates everything you guys do, so that we can all anticipate what you're going to do in any given situation, and then we can make a strategy and then execute it with the precision and accuracy and get the exact outcome we wanted. Like, well, they're going to do this, and jack up her money. It's going to piss everybody off. And then we'll get this. Right? 40,000 times. You tried to hurt me 40,000 times. You got caught and told on. When you all are in jail, there's no more. It's over. And I can walk outside or go to the grocery or go anywhere I want to go in my house. Not a fucking hotel. And leave my computer on the desk and not have to worry that I might come back and you'll have it taken. Because you got a key illegally and made unlawful entry into my property. My property that you used to rake in the money while you starved me to death. Because you like getting women hysterical. You're proving out our witness, sir. You're proving out every recording we've got. We got to get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. Got to get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. Right there. Right? Never happened before. You guys have this happen. How does she find that out? How does she know that? Ask FBI Keith. Ask him. And there's all this. He did it to me again. So I come home with $9. So guess what? Every word you say is going to go on the record. And you're going to ask the question, how does she find out? How does she know about that? And then we got, what do you call it? Now I can't remember what I was going to say. Substantial. Oh, now it's not. Look at South Tulsa now. Oh, it's just slow as fuck now. So I made very little compared to what I used to make before Mr. Perry really started going out my money and really got intent on proving out that recording. We got to get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. She keeps finding out what we're trying to do. We got to call the Muffin Man. He's not going to like that. Right? So I keep track of this too because you guys have your people complain. So yeah, $9 in 5 hours. And so what's that going to do, Perry? Look at history and see if you can predict. You can use the past to predict the future. Right? Most people can. You probably can't. You can't even think past tying your shoe. Do you need help with that too? Then we got a list this morning because you did it to me last time. You guys have your little meeting. And you ask the questions. What's in her bank account? Which is none of your business. You shouldn't know that. That's protected by privacy law. And how much food does she have? You could only know that from Peeping. Is she out of cigarettes yet? You could only know that from Peeping. Does she have, does she need to go to the store? Is she going to go work today? Can we fuck up her money so she'll get pissed off and then you have to go live under a bridge if she won't lie for us? I'm telling the truth or you wouldn't want to do that, right? So this right here was your people asking those very questions this morning. Because you did it, you fucked with my money. So guess what happens? They start digging, David. They're digging into you. They're digging into you, David. You're a big part of this, of causing my problems. And when you're in jail, the problems are gone with you. Right? Are you causing my problems too, you and Charles? I mean, do you like it when I quote you? You ever had that happen to you before? I mean, before my false arrest, you asked me, I'll tell you who your real parents are if you'll tell me who's helping you. Well, I'm like, wow, I'm not 6 years old. I'm a grown-up. Does it matter who my parents are now? I don't think it does now. It mattered when it might mean Lenny Cathy committed fraud by saying they're his biological grandparents, and I might be able to get Tristan. But then Tristan hits 18. Now it doesn't matter at all. I'm not 6. I'm a grown woman. I was raised in the right house. Right? Chief Hall raised me. So I need that skill that he taught me and my dad taught me to deal with you. I cut my teeth on a police badge. I need that skill. I need all the skills that I learned growing up in that home. Whether they're my biological parents or not, who cares? I learned what I needed to learn. I became equipped for such a time as this. Because everybody's sick of you and your problems too. It's not hard to get information about what you said, Mr. Robertson. It's as easy as getting what Charles said, Mr. Robertson. Why is that? Because you're pissing people off. People don't like your crime. They don't like your corruption. They don't like you ruining lives. They don't like you blowing up everybody's day any more than they like Charles doing it. All you had to do is leave me alone. That's it. I didn't come up here to pick a fight with you. I came up here to get away from one. I came up here to be with my family, and no more Charles Perry. No more. And he came up here, and you decided to help him, and you've gone at me, and every time you cause a loss for me, you are picking a fight with me. I don't hunt you down and do anything to your car, do I? I don't do anything to you at all. I mind my own business. I do my own thing. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care who you are. You don't matter to me. Why do I matter to you? I don't pay any attention to you, but for the problems you're causing me. I got to clean up. You're costing me time. You're costing me money. You're costing me a problem, and I got to deal with it, and you're making sure I have to deal with it. So you clearly want some attention, or you wouldn't do that. You can't get attention some other way. I don't really give any two fucks who you are. So what you could have done with Mike and Lucky, see, you fucked with my money, so we got all that, David. You fuck with my money, David. We get what you said, too. You killed a cop, dude. So, I don't know what the hell you're going to do about that. But, we did say, had you left me alone, had you done what I said in March 2020, give it back and get the fuck out. I don't want your buy-a-lie money. I don't want it, Charles. You owe me legit, dude. Pay it legit. Get Sensations full of paying customers since you ran everybody off. Because when you rent out the club so you can just fuck with me, guess what happens? Those guys, the regular customers, you won't let in anymore. Get tired of driving all the way out there to be turned away because you rented out the club. They're not going to drive out there anymore. They lost those customers. That's income. Tortious interference with business, sir. They could sue the fuck out of you. Paul could. Paul could sue the fuck out of you. All of you. Because when you rented out the club, did you bother to tell him, by the way, when we rent out the club, it looks cool, like we're giving you some money here, but really what we're doing is running off your customers. Because they're going to get tired of driving out here to find that they have to get turned away because the club's rented out. Charles, stop trying to talk to me. I don't want to hear it. Did I ask you what you think? I'm not going to help you, Charles. Listen, I'm not going to help you continue to terrorize me. It speaks to your delusion that you would even ask me that. He's asking, is it Paul? Charles, I'm not told who your leaks are, sir. I've said that. Alzheimer's, I don't know. I don't care. Don't care at all. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I get the information. That's all that matters to me. How they get it, I'm not told. And I've said that. You got Alzheimer's, dude. Write it down. I don't know who the leaks are. There's like 3 people that have that information. I'm not one of them. So you can ask me, and you do. And I say the same thing. I don't know, and I don't care. Leave me alone. I don't know, and I don't care. Leave me alone. Fuck off. It speaks to your delusion that you would even ask. I'm not going to help you do anything to continue blowing up my life. We all want you gone. And when you're gone, the problems are gone. The drama's gone. The trauma and drama are gone. There's no more problems. There's no more threat. There's no more loss. I won't be ever broke again, sir. I will never be broke again. I'm tired of not eating. I'm tired of not getting up and looking at my bank account and go, I needed something at the store today, so I'll go get it. I'm tired of spending 5 hours working and coming home with nothing. Now, fuck off. Because when you do that, Mr. Perry, we get stuff like that. Because you piss everybody off. It's not normal. I'm not going to help you continue to terrorize my life. I'm not. When you're gone, all that shit's gone with you. You too, David. All I asked you to do is leave me alone. So had you done what I said, get Fabian and Tristan up here so we can talk and you butt the fuck out. Mind your own business. Get Michael home and get Sensations full of people. And whatever money you owe me, give it to me and get the fuck out of my life. And I never hear from you again. The reporter said it. Had they done that, Lucky just did a big meth bust. They could have grabbed up one of those bitches. One of them probably had it coming anyway. No link to Cynthia. No link to nothing. She's doing good. They got Mike home. No reason to think they had anything to do with that murder. So if she continued to say that they did, we would say she's wrong, if not crazy too. But here's the thing. They're going at her. She's a witness, and they're tampering with her. They're trying to take everything she's got. Force her back to Texas so we can do more to her. Because she's a witness on a murder. Premeditated murder. Murder in the first degree of a police officer. There's the evidence of that right there. You like to talk. Thank God Mr. Perry likes to talk. Because this question right here is, how did I know Mike Neely had to be begged to go to Pensacola? He didn't want to go, but you like coercion. So you begged him, and you just wanted to know, was it David that did it? Was it Josh that did it? Was it you that did it? Was it Matt that did it? Who begged him to go? Because you had this whole plan to blow up his life, and you just needed him there to do it. And you want to know, if I know who's the one that talked him into it. It was a police conference, right? Was it the Rangers? Was it Josh? I don't know. And who are your other victims? Which other women and children have a camera in their house and they don't know it? Well, you starve them to death and make millions, rake money in off their body. You heard of paying restitution, David? After a criminal conviction? You might want to start adding up that money because you're going to pay it. We're building a case, we'll get a conviction, and you're not getting out of this one. And the more you go at me, the more we get to pile on top of you and Charles. Or you just leave me the fuck alone. And quit giving me stuff. Right? I mean, you have a choice. That's where your power is. Choose. The power to choose. And you choose your consequences. Because you reap what you sow. You invade my privacy, they invade yours. And they have a court order to do that, and you don't. But they dig. When you piss. When I'm broke, when Charles is contacting me and my privacy's invaded, boy, they dig. Who exactly was this? Was this Calvin? Was this you, David? Was this Charles? Who was that? Who am I quoting right here? Who am I quoting? Yep. You caused me a loss. They're gonna dig, David, Calvin, all you guys. And this. Who am I quoting? You caused me a loss. They're gonna dig, and I'm gonna get this. It's been that way since McNamara. That was 7 years ago, guys. How many are you? Are there 100 of you? Or look, you can't beat somebody to death and look like that and be drugged. We found out he was drugged. Remember, this was March 2020 when I said that. Give it back and get the hell out. I don't want your byline money. I want you to give back what you owe me legit, and I want you to get the fuck out of my life, and I never hear from you again. Or we'll get more like that. We'll get more of this shit. Your choice. You choose. And sure as shit, he was drugged. I said it. This was May. I said it in March. And had they done this drug dealer thing, this meth thing that Lucky had just done, there'd be absolutely no link to the car vandalism to them. See, now it looks like they did the car vandalism and killed Lucky to obstruct that justice on that. And there's no reason to think they wouldn't do it. They did it on her case. They obstructed justice and destroyed her evidence. Right? Now I'm all traumatized. I can't even go out there and get my police report for my fucking school. Who's not supposed to even ask for that? Now I've been re-traumatized. You want me to call the cops. Why? Over and over and over, demanding I call cops. Charles Perry wants Cindy to call TPD. Charles Perry wants TPD to pull Cindy over. Charles Perry might not want CPD because that's too obvious. Maybe it's Broken Arrow. Is that what you wanted me in South Tulsa? Did you decide maybe we shouldn't have TPD do it? Let's get Broken Arrow. Right? Is that what you did? Okay. Well, duly noted for the record, you had that conversation too. Okay? You start messing with my money. My guys start digging. They're law enforcement, Charles. They're cops. They're my friends. I've known them almost all my life. When you cause a problem for me, they're going to cause 20 for you. And I've said that. They're cops. You're a criminal. That's what they do. They're not going to let you just commit crime. Why would you think they'd do that? Because some of the local guys here do it. Not all the local guys do it because Lucky's dead. He was after you. He was going to get you, or he wouldn't be dead. Mike was going to get you, or he wouldn't be in jail, false arrested. There's a thing called wrongful convictions and shit. We're going to get him home. We've given you the chance to do it. You've decided not to, so we'll do it. They got me that. It wasn't up to you. Nor is that. You're going to give it back and get out. There's a thing called restitution. Right? So when you make a decision to cost me something, make sure you can pay for it, because you always do. Right? So I'm going to make this one supersede the other, because the other one I messed up the fucking... you couldn't hear the phone call. Guess what the phone call was? I sat on hold. So somebody put me on hold, went to lunch. Okay, so whatever. I'm over it. Did you want me to cry? I didn't cry. So this one, this shit that you do, you make a problem for me just to make sure you can pay for it, because you always do. We get, this is the judge talking right here, Kirkendall. I need you to leave her alone so I can rule out provocation and entrapment. It looks to me like you're trying to provoke and entrap when you claim you're being harassed. You're harassing her. Leave her alone. You guys took that to mean do it more and just do it more, and we'll just lie about it better, right? This was talked about forever ago. Lucky did come to see me in a strip club. He did. Why? Do you have to drive all the way out to Sensations to talk to me? I lived 5 minutes from the police department. You could have just driven over there and talked to me. Except that, what? Did you threaten him? Was he already been threatened? Yep. And what about this? What part of this, Mr. Perry, is part of your legislative duties? This man is a police officer. David, you really thought that I wouldn't dig? You thought we wouldn't dig? You should know I'm going to dig. You're asking me if I'm a cop. You should know I'm going to dig. I'm not a cop. But you know what? It's funny that you should ask, because if I was a cop, I could lie. You do know that's legal, right? Cops can lie about being cops if they're undercover, right? You didn't know that, right? I'm something, but I'm not a cop. I don't know how to shoot a gun. So if you're going to be a cop, you have to know how to shoot a gun. I have no fucking idea how to shoot a gun. So there's the arrest report. Not a mark on him. You guys thought I wouldn't dig? I don't, here's when you tried to do it to me. We're going to false arrest her. Here's the police report. This is what they gave right over to the offender. Yeah, TPD. I don't know. False police report with retaliating against a public servant for his legislative duties. He doesn't know what those are. It's not stalking. It's not jamming up apps so I can't make money. Starvation, torture, and torment of women and children that piss everybody off. Deprivation of our most basic needs. That's what opened this up to begin with, David. Is that. So the more you do that, clearly, that's hitting a spot with these guys, right? Since that's what opened the case to begin with. What plane? Are you stupid too? We thought you were the smart one. So here's the February 15th. She wants the evidence. Look at what it says. I want you to bring the evidence if you wish to pursue charges. If. There's an if in there. And yet, when the report was filed on the 21st, by physical force prevented and delayed from reporting your crime and providing evidence on the 29th. 15th. When in there did she, where's my blood test to rule out arsenic that you said you gave me? What kind of, let me tell you this, what kind of hitman do you hire that admits to poisoning someone in a text? Yep, look at that. Makes death threats in text. Mickey James, I can't, maybe it's worth the risk if he kills you, that it looks like Gary Condit and Chandra Levy in a text. I can't guarantee there won't be any charges here. We're corrupt. In a text. Mickey James, I've signed a DOR. I've watched you from behind the scenes. We're stalkers. In a text. Yep, I'm like, wow. So this one is brilliant. This bad guy, criminals are stupid or they wouldn't be criminals. There's all kinds of studies that show criminals have low IQ and no impulse control, no self-control. And this one is so brilliant. He hires hitmen that make a mission in text, not just verbal, in its fucking text. Or am I that good at what I do? Did I get guys to say things they didn't mean to say in a text? I don't know. Anyways, this is how the rest of the world sees you, Perry.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Okay, so let me make sure I do the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the but-for standard. But for me needing to document stalking, as it says in the video I just showed, connecting the dots. I wouldn't do these. That's what these are for. They're already being used in a court of law, Mr. Perry, to get whatever investigatory orders they need. Apply the but-for, the reasonable, prudent individual standard. Is it reasonable and prudent to terrorize women and children? Nope. And it's also not part of your legislative duties. Do you know the difference between legislative duties and crime, sir? Do you know? We think you don't know. We think you have no fucking idea what I'm saying. And we assert all constitutional rights. First Amendment, 14th. The 14th Amendment to the application of Title 18. Keith, FBI Keith, write this down. Title 18, United States Code, Section 1512 and 1513. I, Cynthia Ortiz, assert equal protection rights to due process and the application of that law, Violence Against Women Act, and so forth. And we need you to do what police are supposed to do in protecting and serving the public, and keeping in mind that when you get the wrong guy, the offender's going to continue to offend, and he may offend himself into the wrong jurisdiction, and then everybody's fucked. Everybody's fucked. Watch Unbelievable on Netflix, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Everybody's fucked when you get the wrong guy, Keith. You ought to know that. So there's that. Also, Mr. Perry and Mr. Robertson and all you little weirdo group, when you contact me or invade my privacy or cause a problem for me or cause a loss for me or you take my time, you take my money, you take a penny of my on and on and on, then you asked for us to dig. You are committing a crime. You are being stopped. No one asked your permission. It is not up to you. McNamara email was 7 years ago. And that email is not all of that recording. It's only part of it. It's a very, very small part of it. And 40,000 is not all. That's just some. I don't have time to type up everything you guys try to do. I don't. I really don't have time. I'd be typing all fucking day. Some days I am, depending on the threat level that you pose. But everybody is ready for this to end. The nightmare's over. And we can finally just have a normal day. And we don't have to walk out and make sure we hide everything so you don't walk into my home unlawfully and take my computer right off my desk. I got to take it with me. Or I got to hide it. Or I got to take it with me. I should be able to leave it on my desk and come back and it's on my desk. But when you keep getting recorded about trying to take my computer or fuck up my printer or do this or that, take her driver's license, steal her purse, what am I supposed to do? I got to take precaution. Right? You want to, fuck with my car, and then you do, and that, well, we did say, we told you so. Charles, I don't care what you think. I didn't ask you. It speaks to how deep delusion you live in that you would continue to want to say what you think. Because no one asked you. No one's fucking asking you, Mr. Perry. I'm not going to help you because I'm done living my life like this.
Stop stalking me.
I'm not going to help you continue to terrorize me. I want to have my privacy. I want to go work and make money like I know I can work and make money and never be broke again. Because you're gone. You're finally gone, and all the problems you make is gone with you. And all the terrorizing is gone with you. And finally, we don't have to deal with this shit anymore. And keep in mind, I'm the one that has a McNamara email and a Fabian puzzle and a Mike was drugged email. And we want to get her purse in her computer and fuck up her printer email. And Judge Parker and Judge Kirkendall email. And then Egan, I guess, now, too. Because y'all can see on my computer that I was looking at, that we've got a tentative date for a motion to vacate in her court on the breach of contract. Because you committed this fraud upon a court. I remember I had no customers at Sensations because you ran them all off. So I'd sit there and read. I've read law reviews. I've read law books. I've read, believe me, especially on that subject. Because there's a lot of things of the law to study on that. Is something I studied, and I studied a lot of. Fraud upon a court, because you like the fraud in the court, right? That's your thing. You got a habit of it. There's 7 cases of it right now. How do I even know Judge Kirkendall You had something in her court, and now Parker. What happened to Kirkendall? You didn't like what she said? You didn't like it that she said, I want you to leave her alone so I can rule out provocation and entrapment, so you found a different one? Judy and I used to know each other very well. She's very professional. That's a pretty good standard rule. You got to leave her alone, or you're just provoking and entrapping. She does have emails that say that's what you were intended to do. And if you're jamming up her Dasher app and she's got 50 orders she had to decline and 3 she could do, it goes up with $9 in 5 hours, you got a problem. Because you can look on YouTube and see what that's supposed to do. Dasher app is not supposed to do that, is it? Kind of like when I'm working as a stripper and my guy digs because why doesn't she have any money? I'm going to hire somebody. We're going to find out why she didn't have any money. Because guess what? When you're gone, I'll have money. My guys know me all my life, Charles. They know if something's wrong. If I don't have money, something's wrong. Well, we know you can make money, so we've known you all your life, pretty much. So if you don't have money, he's doing that. We're going to find out how and why, what, when, where, like cops do, investigating. And if it's crime, we're going to fuck it up. That's our job. Look at this. Look, it's a police officer's discretion when he makes an arrest, Charles. That's not your call. It's not your call, David. The cops that are investigating you and their prosecutor are going to make that decision. It's not up to you. Look at this. I'm not spending the rest. I'm not going to help you. No one's going to help you. When you want to know who told, no one's going to help you. Because we are tired of living like this.
Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for